Hello everyone, and welcome to Spintires MudRunner. This is my first video of the new game, of the second iteration. I have played quite a lot of the first game, which was simply called Spintires. I think I had about 180 hours in the first one, so I probably won't reach that much time in this one, but I like the first one and I'm glad the second one is out. There were different reasons why they had to make a second game, although I would probably call it Spintires 1.5 or something. But if you're interested, you can probably find the information why this one came out, and I think I delve into that into this information in my first video, which I made before the release of this game. So you can try to find that one. I'll put the link somewhere as well. In this first look, I just want to make a short tour of the game before I start to play it itself. I had a short look in the closed beta, so I have my impressions, but there might be some small developments from that time, and let's have a short tour, I think, and I'll start with the settings, and I'll point out some important stuff that's might be missed by some people. So I think the most important menu in here is hidden under this browse button or whatever it's meant. So when you click on that one, you get the advanced graphics options, and for me the most important thing is to turn off this motion blur, which annoys me. So when you spin your wheels, and you do it most of the time in this game, they just get blurry and I don't like it. So you can disable it here with this enable motion blur. Just disable it and you won't get that motion blur, which I don't like. Maybe you don't mind it, but it's here. Anyway, other things are the same, or mostly the same, when compared to the first game. Probably the most important and annoying first feature is this enable music. I have disabled it already because it's quite loud when you come into the game, and there's no way of turning it down. You can lower the sound level in general, but the music is still loud, so I just turned it off. And the other interesting thing is that you can use your voice now. You couldn't do that in the first game, so that has been added. I haven't played the multiplayer yet, but I've read that it works fine, the multiplayer itself, and I'm not sure about this voice thing. I haven't tried it, but I expect it to work. It's not that hard thing to introduce into the games. So that's one of the changes compared to the first game. Let's go back to the menu. And of course, in this iteration, you get also a tutorial. So if you're completely new to the Spintire series, start with the tutorial, which will actually be offered to you as soon as you jump into the game. If you want to get out of that, just press escape and go to the menu. If you still feel that you don't know enough about the game, or you want to refresh your driving skills in the mud, play some challenges. There are sort of further tutorial missions for this one, but they are a bit longer and they just tell you what to do, but don't tell you how to do it. Well, to put it short. Anyway, I will probably skip those because I've played the game enough, and I'll probably jump into the single player. But before I do that, let's have a look at the multiplayer screen as well. So you get the same lobby or multiple lobbies as in the first game. You have different names for the maps. I'll talk about those a bit later. But the important thing in this iteration is that you get multiplayer save games. So they will appear here in this small window as soon as you've started playing one and stopped for whatever reason. They should appear here. And then when you click on this, you can continue from the point where you left off. That was not possible in the first game, so it's a really big thing, and a lot of people were asking for that feature, and I'm glad it's here. It'll be much easier to finish multiplayer sessions now with your friends or random people from the internet. Why not? Let's jump into the single player and talk about the menus you get there. So you can play in two modes, which you can switch here. So in casual mode, which is the easy mode, I would say, you get some additional help. So if you're new to the game, maybe start in the casual mode, but real men play in hardcore mode. Anyway, I like hardcore mode better because it's more challenging, and I prefer to play it that way. In the casual mode, you can recover your cars, your trucks, back to the garage with one click. You don't need to drive up with your other trucks and try to turn the trucks, your first truck over, or whatever you try to do, or ask for help in multiplayer. You can just respawn at the garage. Damage doesn't affect the truck's parameters, so it drives the same and disregards damage to the track. Fuel consumption is lower. You can skip nighttime, which I would really prefer to have it also in hardcore, because I really don't like driving in darkness. But yeah, that's a limitation, and I can't complain much about it. And yeah, navigation routes are visible in the game, and some achievements are unavailable in casual mode. So I'll be playing in hardcore because I like to aim for achievements in this game. And in the hardcore, yeah, damaged trucks are harder to steer properly. Diff lock has to be turned on and off depending on the surface you are driving on. You can't get diff lock while you're using the automatic gearbox, although automatic gearbox in old Russian trucks is not that realistic, but anyway, it's been a feature of the game and I'm used to it anyway. Log stations are disabled, so you have to load your logs into the trucks manually with the crane. And yeah, navigation routes are not visible. You just get the distance to your point that you mark on the map. And yeah, there's some auto steering forces acting on the truck when you're going downhill, so it's a bit harder to go downhill. I felt that sometimes the trucks want to steer out when you're trying to brake and the back sort of steps out or something, which is quite interesting. And the maps, yeah, there's another difference compared to the first game. So this bog map, I had a look at it for a bit, and to me it seems like a completely new map for this game. I think this is the one that they spoke about also in the pre-release materials, so this should be the new map. And the other ones seem to be reworked versions of the maps from the first game, although they do look quite different. And as you can see, if you haven't finished any of the first two maps, you can't access the next ones. So you have to finish or earn some points in the bog or the island to unlock the other maps, which is quite a neat way of motivating players to actually play something or do something on these first two maps. And yeah, from what I can see from these maps, so the island map seems to be a reworked version of the volcano map from the first game. Seashore could be coast from the first game. I haven't seen that, so I can't tell how different it is. Volcanoes, the island map seems a bit different, but I haven't played it. I just opened it and had a look at what kind of trucks I can have. Crossing seems to be the river map. Downhill is probably the hill map. I've played it a little bit in the closed beta, and the map seemed to be quite different. Although some places were familiar, but it was different enough so I couldn't even tell where's what in the map. So it's still worth playing these reworked maps as well. And Deluge is probably Flood. There's another one, but I forget the name of it. There's another one available in the first game, and that might be either a reworked version of that one or reworked version of Flood. Anyway, that's basically all I wanted to cover in this first video, and in the next one I'll probably start with the gameplay on Bog. Let's have a quick look. Maybe there's something I haven't covered. Yeah, you have mod support right from the start, and I think you can switch these out if you want to. If you overstep these game balance stars, you won't get access to achievements, but you can switch up these trucks, and some of them are locked. You will need progression points to unlock some of the trucks or cars that you have here. So you have to finish quite a lot of maps, or actually I don't know how many points you will earn from finishing a single map. I'll see that a bit later when I actually finish one. And then you can switch up the trucks that you can start with. So make it a bit easier or harder if you want to. There are certified mods that you can add to the game and use them as well. I'm not sure if they will be unlocked right from the start, but it was the case in the first game as well, where you could use the certified mods here and still play with achievements. Whereas if the mod is not certified, you won't be able to get achievements if you play with uncertified mods. For some people it's important to get achievements, for some it's not. For me it's quite important because, well, that's basically the sole goal for me in this game, to get achievements, which are sometimes quite hard. And that's how I motivate myself to play this game, to get, if not all, at least most of the achievements, like I did in the first game, which was quite fun for me. Oh, well, I think that's it. I'll go back to the menu and finish the video here. Thank you for watching, subscribe, give this one a like, and I hope to see you in the next video, which might be a bit more interesting, because there'll be some gameplay. Alright, see you. Bye.